Lots and lots of questions about my thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene and her appearance at the press conference for the Epstein victims on yesterday. Let's talk about it. Before we get into it, let's watch the press conference on yesterday. We're going to just watch Marjorie Taylor Greene's portion of the press conference from yesterday.
Good morning. This is my 5th year in Congress, and this is the largest press conference that I've seen since I've been here. And this is because this is an issue that matters so much to Americans. This is an issue that doesn't have political boundaries. It's an issue that Republicans and Democrats should never fight about. As a matter of fact, it's such an important issue that it should bring us all together. It's grieved me to watch the arguments and debates take place among my colleagues and even the administration. I think this is something that was worth fighting for. You see, the women behind me are going to tell you stories that you've never heard before. These are unimaginable horrors that they've lived with for their entire lives since they were very, very young. But these are also similar stories that many children, teenagers, women, and even men are enduring nightmares right now as we speak. You see, these women have been fighting since the 1990s. I heard one woman tell us yesterday since 1996, and they have carried with them shame. But I want to tell you something. The shame does not fall on these brave, courageous women. The shame falls on every single person that coldly turned a blind eye to their abuse. The shame falls on every single person that enabled it. The shame falls on every single person that took money to continue it. And the shame falls on the people in power over the past several decades that protected the monster, Jeffrey Epstein, and his cabal that continued a nightmare. Those people deserve the shame. And today we are coming forward and we are going to fight like hell for these women, because we have to fight like hell for those that are enduring sexual abuse and are living in a prison of shame. Anyone that is being abused, it is not your fault. You should live with no guilt or fear or shame. All of the fault belongs to the evil people that do these things to the innocent. This is the most important fight we can wage here in Congress, is fighting for innocent people that never receive justice. And the women behind me have never received justice. And do you want to know why? It's because Jeffrey Epstein somehow was able to walk among the most rich, powerful people, not only in America, but foreign countries. Yesterday, I heard countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and even Israel, and other countries. The truth needs to come out. And the government holds the truth. The cases that are sealed hold the truth. Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth. The FBI, the DOJ, and the CIA holds the truth. And the truth we are demanding come out on behalf of these women, but also as a strong message to every innocent child, teenager, woman, and man that is being held captive in abuse. This should never happen in America, and it should never be a political issue that divides us. And I want to thank Ro Khanna and Thomas Massie for doing something brave, crossing political boundaries for a very important fight. And I'm honored to join both of them. And I'm honored that Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert signed the discharge petition along with myself. And I asked my Republican colleagues not to choose just one path for justice and transparency and accountability, but I asked my Republican colleagues to choose every path for justice and accountability and transparency. And with that, I'd like to bring back Congressman Ro Khanna to start this important press conference. Thank you very much.
Well, it was a solid speech. Was she believable? I think she meant what she said, but I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene has a purpose for being there at that press conference on yesterday. Number one, I believe that she is trying to rebrand. She is trying to change her image. Marjorie Taylor Greene sees the writing on the wall when it comes to the cult leader, King Cankles. King Cankles' day is coming when he will no longer be on this earth. King Cankles is going to meet his maker. We all are, but King Cankles is going sooner than some of us. And Marjorie Taylor Greene sees the writing on the wall. Whoever elevates, it won't be at the level of King Cankles. The MAGA nuts are truly only beholden to King Cankles, in my opinion. And Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that. So she is in the stages of rebranding herself from being an all-out MAGA nut. And she's using the Epstein files to help her do that. If King Kankles stays around for the duration of his presidency, she's fine because Marjorie Taylor Greene is very, very smart. When she throws rocks at the administration, she never uses Donald Trump's name. She never hurls accusations directly towards Donald Trump. She's not holding Donald Trump accountable. What she does is she throws the rocks and she holds those around Donald Trump accountable. She uses words like the administration. She uses terms like the people around Trump. You see, after Marjorie Taylor Greene did this press conference and she gave that marvelous speech, she did an interview with America's Voice, the Real America's Voice, Steve Bannon's network. She did an interview with one of the Republican influencers over there. And this is what she said.
Careful that that list is accurate, otherwise they actually could be sued. So very, very important to take their time and have some support, have some, financial support, and certainly people like you stepping up on their behalf is great. Here, tough question here. Trump obviously would like this to go away for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why we were promised the whole Epstein list fully, and now we're getting dribs and drabs, highly redacted stuff and stuff we've already seen before as sort of a placation. I don't know why. I don't speculate. Do you expect you're going to get a little pushback from the administration for getting involved in this?
Oh, I got a lot of pushback. I got phone call after phone call last night. They didn't want me to sign the discharge petition. They want to focus on the oversight investigation. They hate Thomas Massey more than they can hate any Democrat, which makes no sense to me. And they don't want to work with Democrats at all. But again, I'll say this. I'm not blaming President Trump whatsoever. I'm actually blaming some of his staff around him. Eric, you and I both know any president is insulated and in a cone of information based on the people that work directly with him. And I don't think they've informed him on what a big deal this really is. And I told the president this morning, I want to see him bring these women into the Oval Office, and I want him to be the hero and champion of this issue. And I want him to fight for these women, because I know him to be a fighter. And when he fights for something, for an issue, and he fights for people, especially innocent victims of Jeffrey Epstein, then he beats everybody. And I really want to see President Trump do that, and I hope he changes his mind. Today, he called it a hoax, while these women were speaking out, and they were saying, we're not a hoax, we're human beings. And I think we need to see something turn around there.
So you see, she speaks positively about Donald Trump. Even though Donald Trump has called this a hoax, she speaks positively about Donald Trump. Further on in that interview, she goes on to attack the people who work around Donald Trump, because somebody put out a statement that if any Republican signs on to Thomas Massey's legislation, they will be reviewed or regarded as a hostile person towards Trump and the administration. And Marjorie Taylor Greene took offense to that. Here's what she said.
And I think we need to see something turn around there. I'll say this, Eric.
He can prove it's a hoax by releasing it. Let us decide if it's a hoax or not. I mean, I love everything they're doing. I'm MAGA through and through. Before, I don't know. I'm original OG. Bannon calls me original gangster MAGA. I am.
Me too.
But you gotta give MAGA this.
Yeah.
You gotta give it. We spent years saying you can't put a trans parade in the middle of children's, in the middle of a street on a Sunday with children involved. You can't go to kids' school story hour and have a trans. We're pointing fingers about doing the exact same thing, or maybe even not as bad, to some of the communities. MTG. Before I go, you have 4 or 5 R signatures on this. Do you think this this petition will get 218 like you need?
Well, I just want to finish up on one thing.
Yeah.
It's not a hoax because Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted pedophile. That takes away the whole hoax things. It's not a hoax. It's not a lie. And on that note, Eric, every Republican should be able to sign on to this. And that's the real hoax, that they're afraid to sign on to it because somebody who, who is a real coward from one of the Trump admin officials came out and called this a hostile act against the Trump administration. I take very big offense to that because I put my life and my fortune on the line fighting to get that man elected. And whoever said that has their job because of people like me that fought all the horrible Republicans that stabbed him in the back after January 6th. And I was one of those that fought on the front lines and said, no, he is the leader of our party. He is the president, and we're going to make him president again. Well, that coward attacked me and attacked anybody else and called it a hostile act. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls. That was the hostile act, and it's not a hoax. And Eric, I'll tell you what, I hope people at home light up their phone lines. I hope they call them out on social media. I hope they show up at their district offices, and I really hope that they push my colleagues to do the right thing. Right now, there's 4 of us. We only need 2 more, just 2 more.
Got it. All right.
So you see, she, without question, without a second thought, she stands 10 toes down and has kind words for Donald Trump, but she attacks the people around him. She blames the people around him for standing in the way of the release of the Epstein files. When we all know King Cankles runs the show. King Cankles barks out the orders. King Cankles is the one in charge. They work for him. Those people around him are not free to do their jobs when it comes to working for the people of the United States. No, they do what they are told. And she knows that. She knows that. She's very smart in how she's attempting to rebrand herself. She's trying to make that move, but she's very methodical, cunning in how she makes her moves. She's separating herself from MAGA and what they stood for, but she's not separating herself from Donald Trump, who is the king of MAGA. I see you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I see you. And it might work. It might work with those who support her. But those who support Donald Trump, that's not going to work. Y'all let me know your thoughts. Put it down in the comments.